scorching sun of the African savanna, even the toughest creatures can be defeated. Not by lions, leopards, or massive fangs, but by a tiny, nearly invisible army. A female honey badger is being drained of her strength by hundreds of ticks burrowed deep beneath her fur. While each individual tick extracts only a tiny amount of blood, an overwhelming parasite load can lead to prolonged blood loss, causing physical deterioration, a drop in hemoglobin levels, and severe weakness in the host. But on the savanna, the danger posed by one species sometimes becomes an opportunity for another. This is not kindness in the human sense of the word. For mongooses, ticks are an easily accessible source of protein. Similar tick-picking behavior has been observed between mongooses and African warthogs. In this chance encounter, the mongoose troop gains a meal while the honey badger is relieved of some of its parasitic burden. However, when the adults are busy foraging, their burrows are left empty. Following a scent trail on the ground, a black-necked spitting cobra approached. Deep inside the tunnel, the three young mongooses had no room to flee. They bit at the snake's body and tail to protect one another, but their courage could not overcome the disparity in size, muscle, and weaponry. By the time the adult mongooses heard the alarm call and returned, the two young ones no longer stood a chance. The last one was already being dragged toward the rocky area by the predator. The entire pack immediately gave chase. They surrounded the snake from multiple directions, repeatedly feigning attacks and then retreating to force it to turn around. Such is the power of life in a group. Even so, their venomous fangs kept them just beyond striking distance. Just then, a honey badger appeared. The honey badger is renowned for its thick, loose skin and muscular build, which allow it to maneuver freely even when gripped by an opponent. A variation in the species' nerve receptors may also reduce the binding affinity of certain neurotoxins found in snake venom. However, this constitutes resistance rather than absolute immunity. The honey badger boldly charged in, drawing the snake's full attention. When the mother mongoose bit its tail and diverted the strike, the snake's neck, just behind the head, was exposed. That was the only moment needed. The snake was defeated, but the victory could not bring the young mongooses back. The honey badger dragged the snake's carcass away to feed its own two offspring, while the mongoose troop returned to their burrow, bearing the weight of their loss. In nature, there are no heroes or villains. There is only parasitism, foraging, protecting one's family, and creatures striving to survive just one more day. A troop of mongooses inadvertently saves a honey badger, and that very act of aid helps fend off a predator. On the savanna, all lives are interconnected, sometimes through cooperation, sometimes through loss, and sometimes through the brutal struggle for survival itself. Once the dust of battle settled, the stories of these three creatures revealed three vastly different survival strategies. The honey badger is not the largest animal, yet it possesses a low-slung, sturdy build, long foreclaws, and powerful jaws. Its thick, relatively loose skin allows it to twist and turn when gripped by an opponent. Its body is also capable of mitigating the effects of certain neurotoxins. However, it is not entirely immune to snake venom. A massive dose, severe injury, blood loss, or exhaustion can still prove fatal. The honey badger's true strength lies not in invincibility, but in its ability to adapt and keep fighting even when pushed to its physical limits. Meerkats survive thanks to the power of the group. They live in colonies, foraging, keeping watch, defending their territory, and caring for their young together. When one individual stands upright to keep watch, the others can focus on foraging. However, their small size is also their greatest vulnerability. A meerkat separated from the group, especially a young one, easily becomes a target for snakes, birds of prey, and larger carnivores. The black-necked spitting cobra possesses venom capable of causing excruciating pain and tissue damage, while rapidly incapacitating small animals. Its forked tongue gathers scent molecules from the air and ground, delivering them to the Jacobson's organ in the roof of its mouth. This allows the snake to track prey through dense grass or dimly lit tunnels. Yet, its venom does not render it invincible. If an adversary closes in and pins the snake's neck, right behind the head, its ability to strike or spit venom is severely compromised. Rearing up, spreading its hood, and hissing serve primarily as warnings. For even a venomous snake prefers to avoid a confrontation that could result in injury. The three species in this story represent distinct survival strategies. The honey badger relies on resilience and adaptability, the meerkat on collective spirit, and the cobra on patience and venom. But nature grants no species permanent victory. The mighty can fall to tiny parasites. The weak can survive through the support of their kin, and a formidable predator can fail due to a single moment of carelessness. The lesson of the wild is not about becoming the strongest. It is about wielding one's strength wisely, adapting, relying on others when necessary, and possessing the will to move forward after irreversible loss. For sometimes, true victory is simply having the strength to go on when a new day begins.